Welcome back. Let's talk about health. I'm sure you've heard about the Lassa fever cases. 4 people died in Plateau State. And there has been an increase in the number of Lassa fever cases reported from several states across the country since the beginning of the year. And it happened last year too. About this time last year, we already have about a little over 100 cases.
It's always in the dry season, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's the season. So we're going to be looking into how we can protect ourselves from contracting Lassa fever and, of course, any other contagious diseases. We have in the studio here in Lagos the National President of the Environmental Health Officers Association of Nigeria, Mr. Akingbeyi Samuel. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
And in our Abuja studios, we have the head National Lassa Fever Technical Working Committee of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, Elsie Ilori. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, let me start with you. Can you bring us up to speed as to, the cases, the Lassa fever cases that we have so far in 2019?
Yeah, in 2019, we've recorded 136 confirmed cases with 31 deaths so far from 9 states, actually 8 states plus the FCT.
Okay, and so what is the Center for Disease Control doing about this? Because right now, if you compare with where we were last year, it's a bit higher than what we've had as at 21st of January last year. We had just about 107 suspected cases. Now we have 136 confirmed cases. How are you dealing with that?
Yes. Well, we expect that we'll have more cases because in preparation for 2019, we have been proactive in terms of trying to, create awareness in the community because we do not want people to die. So we have created awareness. We have done a lot of community engagement. So where cases are in the community, we have made them come out. And then we have also trained the health workers to have this high index of suspicion. So it's like, yes, we will expect it. We expect more cases. But what we do not want is having deaths in the confirmed cases.
Okay, let's come to the studio. Mr. Akingbeyi, she said we should expect more cases. Should that be the case?
I don't actually think that should be the case when we are prepared for issues like this. It's gone through dry season anytime. That kind of make it annually now. And the preparation, I think, is what we have issues with, in the sense that this endemic disease is actually preventable. And so if we as a nation and as a government are very well prepared, we'll be able to stem it instead of waiting for it to happen before we always be responding to it. If we prevent it, what do we need to do? There is no vaccine for this disease, we know. Definitely the only way to prevent is adequate environmental sanitation and personal hygiene. Where we have refuse everywhere, we have states that are insensitive to environment, we don't have enough workforce to take care of the health of the population to prevent it. So definitely maybe that is what NCDC is trying to say that we expect, and it is actually abnormal.
Mr. Akingbeyi,
yeah.
You have mentioned hygienic conditions.
Yeah.
We just need to pay more attention. You've mentioned refuse everywhere. Well, there's very little that we can do about that if the refuse disposal agencies are not doing their job. Then what NCDC is saying is certainly what we're going to have. But that being the case, what can individuals do, as much as is within their power, to safeguard themselves from catching Lassa fever.
Perhaps
Okay.
you can also add, how, we come in contact with this.
How do we come in contact with Lassa fever? Lassa fever primarily is due to contact with the droppings, the feces, the urine, body fluids of the species of rat that is called Mastomys natalensis. And once we're able to prevent rat infestation in our premises as individual, we kind of be on a better, standing to make sure that we do not contact this.
You give the species of the rat.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the person at home doesn't care for the species.
And
A rat is a rat.
So,
Yeah.
So anyone
The rat is not going to come and show to you, I'm Mastomys natalensis.
I'm not the one carrying Lassa
That's why I
fever.
said rat infestation generally is what we
to take care
want
of.
people against right now. You have to prevent rat runs in your houses. Make sure your food storage is actually tight enough
Cover
to
everything
prevent
properly.
Yes, to prevent rat infestation. You make sure that rats don't have access to your food and even your surfaces, because rats, wherever they are, when you see droppings of rat here, definitely the feces is there. And where you have our food that is open or leftovers on the dining table or even in the store, you see people open gari, there's this cassava flour, yam flour, they'll open them down. You are not going to bring those things and wash before you eat them. For instance, cassava flour that people like to soak ordinarily, raw, and they take it. It will be very difficult.
Does cooking help in any way?
Yeah, cooking help. You make sure food are cooked thoroughly.
Cook well.
Yes, thoroughly cooked. Definitely, you would have abated the virus from the food.
it is at that cooking level, because once it's on the table and it's cold, you can't guarantee if something else gets into it.
There are some food, even fruits, you have to make sure you wash fruits very well. You want to make sure that even if you want to say, because in this part of the country, of the world, people like to soak gari. I'm very particular about it because some people like it, not because they don't have money to buy better food. They want to soak gari and take it raw. So if you have to do that, please take the gari, if it has been exposed and you suspect anything, take it in a fry pan to the fire and make sure you heat it up. To make sure, before you not take it.
Okay, because I was going to say that if you buy from the market, you don't know under which condition the gari has been, exposed to, and then you want to bring it home. Yeah. So this refrying is a good idea.
Very good idea, obviously.
And we actually also go into markets. The episode we had last year, I remember some states, my professional body, Environmental Health Officers Association of Nigeria, so some state chapters went into deratization of markets. They went, I think China's also followed up in some of the cases. So this time around, we've sensitized all of them, all the states, especially these affected states, the 8 states already, that they will commence immediate fumigation and deratization of the markets to make sure they reduce rat infestation to the barest minimum, and warn food handlers and food sellers, food sub-sellers, to make sure they observe hygiene.
Mrs. Ilori, you have told us that there are likely to be more cases this year. What is NCDC doing about ensuring that this is reduced and that deaths do not result from it?
Yes, thank you for that. I would like to also correct the gentleman that NCDC has actually been proactive in terms of prevention, because like for NCDC, it's a One Health approach. We work with the Ministry of Environment and we work with the Ministry of Agric. And our targets, we have specific audience that we're targeting. For Agric is targeting the farmers on how to process their food and storage. For the Ministry of Environment, they are doing the environmental part of it. Now, we have sent out teams to the states. And in the team, we have the Ministry of Environment, the Environmental Health Officer in the team. And then we also have the Ministry of Agric, the Agriculture Officer in the team. Now, for NCDC, one of the things that we are also doing and trying to prevent the number, cases increasing, is to sensitize the people to be aware of what they are expected to do. He talked about the environment. Yes, that is one of the key areas to, create awareness in terms of making our environment clean, keeping all rubbish away from our houses. Now, the other part that we're doing is also to make sure that management of the cases is key. Our health workers, we have trained them to have high index of suspicion. So when cases come, they are able to suspect that it might be Lassa. We have said it that once there is a fever and it's not responding to malaria, or there is a test for malaria and it is negative, please suspect Lassa fever or any other viral hemorrhagic fever. So we have sensitized our health workers so that people report early. We record deaths when people report late to the facility. So we've done that with our health workers. We are still doing it. It's not a one-time thing. It's a continuous thing. And then the agri sector is also talking to the farmers, the hunters, on how to process their food in terms of storage and all the other things, necessary things that they need to do. So it's a One Health approach. It's all-encompassing. Risk communication activities are ongoing right now. Even before the outbreak, we have started. We sent alerts to the state. We have prepositioned drugs and medicines and supplies to all the states for any confirmed case, to be able to manage any confirmed case. So the NCDC has been very proactive. Our target actually is to reduce mortality, and that is what we're working towards.
Mrs. Solari, we'll just take a short break. When we come back, I would like you to talk to us about the activities of NCDC in the rural communities.